What's going on, guys? This is Snoop603 and Fake Filler from Shustybang, and welcome to another episode of our Battlefield 3 weapon reviews. Before we get started, we want to say that we know at this point in the life cycle of Battlefield 3, weapon reviews seem redundant. However, as a thank you to our awesome subscribers who helped us out with winning some awesome prizes, we're going to finish our weapon reviews as a thank you to them. For today's review, we're looking at the M16A4. This gun is available for the Assault class only, and is unlocked after earning 89,000 points within the Assault class.
A little bit of weapon info for you on the M16A4. The place of origin is the United States of America. The magazine capacity is 30 rounds plus one chambered. The fire rate is 800 rounds per minute, but cannot be sustained because it is burst fire only. The reload time is 1.8 seconds with a bullet chambered, or 2.37 seconds if the magazine runs completely dry. And the damage for the M16A4 is standard at 25 hit points of damage at 8 meters and trails down to a minimum of 18.4 damage at 50 meters.
The M16A4 is one of those burst weapons that seems to have flown under my radar for far too long. For about the first 6 months or so of Battlefield 3 being out, I wasn't a fan of burst fire weapons. That's part of the reason why I never used it. Once I started using them, I was just too big of a fan of the KH-2002 to be even bothered with trying this gun. Fast forward almost a year later, and I am kicking myself in the ass for never giving this gun much of a chance before. To me, the M16A4 is a hidden gem in the long list of weapons available to use in Battlefield 3. The M16A4 is essentially the same exact thing as the M16A3, except no one falsely accuses it of being overpowered, and it's a burst fire or semi-auto weapon only. It's surprisingly easy to use for a burst weapon, and I say that from my perspective alone because for a long time, I wasn't the greatest burst weapon user out there, but I have made progress. This gun is a very predictable, easy to control vertical recoil that's really only present if you're hammering on the trigger too fast. Don't do that. Like other guns, this thing climbs, and fast, when you fire it too rapidly. Use it as it's intended, for short, controlled, accurate bursts, and your efforts will be rewarded. Really, the M16A4 is a dream gun to use. It excels in the medium to long range, where you can fire from a distance and really take advantage of burst, pause, burst firing method. However, thanks to its quick reload times, average magazine size, and large variety of attachments, you could certainly take this to the front door of the enemy and hold your own if you wanted to. I know I played a lot more aggressively in the footage, and doing pretty well in close range, but what you don't see is how many times I died while playing like that. Run and gun until I die. My preferred loadout for the M16A4 is the holographic sight, underslung rail, and the heavy barrel. As I said, the gun really excels in the medium to long range, so why fight it? If I were to play Conquest and stick with that range, I might consider putting on the ACOG scope for better long range accuracy, but I like the holographic sight so that I can have better aim in the medium to close range if it's necessary. I'm going to give the M16A4 a 4 out of 5. I know I just gave it a glowing review, but like all burst weapons, it is susceptible to jamming when you spam the trigger too much or too fast. It'll happen even to the most disciplined players at times. I found myself being unable to find that perfect firing speed when engaged in close quarters, and would either fire too slowly and die, or fire too fast, jam the gun and die. If you can avoid those situations, the gun will suit you well, and I definitely suggest you give it a try if you haven't yet.
The M16A4 is almost always overlooked when selecting your weapon for the upcoming battle. In all honesty, it's a wonder this gun is even in the game, sharing not only its vital statistics, but its attachments with the M16A3. The only time I really see fit to use the A4 is when you're intentionally playing a long-range support role. Burst fire weapons in general suffer in close combat because of the inability to become a bullet hose in panic situations, and the A4 is no different. I would recommend simply using the A3 and manually burst firing. That being said, if you do choose to use the A4, I'd go with a Cobra sight and a bipod. The bipod will help remind you that you should be picking up a position in the rear of your team, picking off long-range kills with your high accuracy. I'm rating the M16A4 a 3 out of 5. It has solid stats, but its general application is flat out bested by its full auto counterpart. Overall, the M16A4 earns a 3.5 out of 5. We appreciate you guys watching the video. If you'd like to see what we think of the other weapons in Battlefield 3, check out the description below for a link that will take you to the entire playlist. Thanks for watching.